Good morning, everybody. Once again, my monitor is not showing me whether I'm live or not. Yes, I am. Okay. Gotta refresh the browser every time now. Wow. Hi, everybody. How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you. I imagine Kiltsy's done. Ollie probably is riding herd over there, but I have been busy setting up for this. Friday, TGIF. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And the plan is to drink it if we got it. And in honor of my friend from a Kilt's Cup. Happy Friday. I see Thomas, we're going to nickname him Speedy, got all the way from Kiltsy's to here in the blink of an eye. Wow. That's good. Turn the warmer on to keep it warm and give the band a little time off. Okay. Getting smoother at this. I got a hat on today. I got a hat. Got it yesterday from Barry Simon. And it's a WEFM Daily Meatcast hat. Boston Meetup Edition. Wow, is this special? I haven't been wearing hats lately. Most people do. So I thought I'd debut this hat. A white hat, no less. I guess I'm a good guy. As opposed to the black hats that most of us usually wear. Well, it's good to see you this morning. I'm expecting Kelsey to show up, and he asked me on his show, he said, what's the theme of your show today? Mike, you think I actually pre-plan any of this? I've never liked scripts in my life, and I doubt I will ever start. At any rate, guys, it's good to see you. A spooky thing happened to me this morning. You ever have these Twilight Zone moments? You know, it's something. It doesn't seem right. Well, I got into my studio this morning. And I got all these new friends in my studio. I got Walter, I got Roberto, got Pearl the cat now. Yes, it would appear I am losing my mind. But I look, and if something seemed out of place, they seemed to be in a little different kind of position than I left them yesterday. And I heard the Twilight Zone theme in my mind, Who moved them? And then I got the answer. Barry Simon knew who moved him. So here's what happened, guys. Let me go ahead and set this up again. Here it is.
He's gone. Finally, Operation Chaos is a go.
Quiet, you two. We need a plan.
Oh, lighten up, Walter. Let's just push some buttons.
No! We could crash the system.
You're no fun, Walter.
And I had my answer. That was cute, Barry. Thank you. I really enjoyed that. But now I'm going to be suspicious. I'm going to come in every morning and I'm going to say, what have you guys been up to while I was gone? Just another thing to worry about. Another thing to worry about. Mm-hmm. I wanted to show you that right away. That was so cute. I thought that was cute. And now I'm looking at these characters with through a different eye. Through a different eye. Tuka, first one in. How you doing, Tuka? Last night, good to see you. Rough Carnivore says, turn on Pearl. Okay. And Kelsey's coming in, but it said device is not connected. So we'll have to wait for Kelsey to find the switch. But let me say good morning. I don't want this cat to become to basically upstage me on my own show. But let's turn on the cat. So I know this is maybe not something you normally see, but here's the switch underneath. There it is. I didn't recharge. I didn't recharge her. So we're going to see how well the battery goes. But she's waking up. Good morning. Good morning. And there's Kelsey. I see you now. And there's Pearl. So let me bring Kelsey in, and we'll get back to the cat. So Kelsey can meet the cat. Hang on a second here. Let me clean up the screen a little bit. Get to this. Get this off the screen. And I'm set. You again.
They allowed me back in. I don't know how it happened. It kept on trying to say you can't get in. Sorry, the system's not working. But here I am hanging out with Pearl and Mitch in the morning.
Yeah, notice who gets top billing there now.
Well,
I don't know.
You know, Minnie Pearl. Remember Minnie Pearl?
Oh, of course, yeah.
You know, and I think she was all part of the, what was it, the Grand Ole Opry? With
I think so.
And I don't know, did Minnie Pearl ever sing with Dolly, or was
Dolly?
that
More than likely, she probably did at some point. I'm not a country fan, so I don't. That culture is pretty well lost on me. I'm not the guy to ask about Nashville or the country Grand Ole Opry and stuff like that. But Pearl says, and that's spelled Purrl. Pearl. Now let me see if this view will get you any of my side view here. Yeah, there you go. You can still see.
Nice.
You can still see the cat. So there's the cat.
I love
it.
I love it. Does that tail move?
Oh yeah, God yeah. The tail goes all over the place. Here, you scratch out back here. Wake up, cat. Don't tell me you're at it. Oh, here it is. There's the tail moving. See it?
You know, I love it. Now, does the cat have multiple languages, or only the cat language?
No, just meows, but she does meow in 35 different languages. It's very talented cat. This cat is going to take over the show. Nobody is. It's incredible. But look at this, like Mike Seeley. I showed the video last night on the live stream, but he came over yesterday and I introduced him to the cat. And by the time he had spent 4 minutes with the cat, he was talking to it already and calling it she instead of it. I mean, incredible thing. What is it, a real cat? No, it's not a real cat. But I think, seriously, I think that for certain people, the purpose of this is a companion.
I'll see you at the office. I'll see you at the office. I still have bacon. Yes. Yeah. Goodbye. Bye.
Okay. For certain people, security blankets, stuffed animals, proxies for companion, enrich their lives, and I can see where this. They obviously somebody sees something in it, because they are obviously selling quite a few of these things, and they're not cheap. But I can see how you could almost get attached to this. If you have nothing else in your life, and you're lonely, and you're convalescing, or God forbid in a nursing home or something like that, this might be the best you could do.
Well, think about it, how connected we are to our things, that ultimately without our things, whether it's our favorite shirt, tie, hat, coffee cup, or Mitch Live, it's like, oh, I gotta get home and watch this show, right? It's aren't real people in our lives, but our brain thinks they are. And so
Yeah.
we connect and identify with things as if they have real meaning, but the real meaning is whatever our biology gives it.
Oh, absolutely. Soap operas. You know, all of our grandparents used to say, "Shh, I'm watching my program. I'm watching my program." It was their program. It was part of their life, and they wouldn't miss it for anything. We do certainly get attached to objects, and then we begin to be identified with those objects. But that's just culture. That's this
My
cat is sitting there. You hear it? Can you hear it?
my favorite blanket or doll, or I gotta sleep here. I gotta sleep with this in this way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's this and that? I mean, our biology. I mean, it's basic biology. There's some the eyes, the hearing, the smells, the taste. All of that is built probably into the glycocalyx.
Okay. Well, it's all created in our minds anyway by cues and sensory perception and everything. So it's entirely possible that it can become real in our minds, and I think that's normal. It's normal for human beings to include things in their own reality, and that's where I think this is. But for me here, this I got my hand on her back. See, I'm starting to call this thing her now. Believe
Well,
but there's a heartbeat. You can feel the heartbeat. It's purring now. Hear it? It's purring. It's crazy. Whoever programmed this thing obviously had, yeah, okay, obviously had cats. So I'm fascinated by the technology of the thing, but still, it feels comfortable. It feels cuddly. It feels I think it could serve a purpose. The girl that sent this to me, named Wendy from China, which could be a girl, could be a human being, could be an AI, because I think a lot of the correspondence I have with these companies that want me to review things is actually AI, because you can tell by the writing style, so many of them are similar. But I got an email from her this morning, and she's been watching my live streams from over there in China, and loves the reaction I'm getting. And she asked me last night, do you think anybody is going to buy one of these things? Because, of course, that's her main job, is to sell robot cats. And, I told her that wasn't my objective, to come on here and make a cat infomercial. My objective and the conditions with which I accepted the cat was that the cat is going to become a part of the shtick of my morning show. And I'll put the link on my webpage, and if somebody wants one, they'll buy it. But my main goal is not to sell robot cats. Let's make that perfectly clear.
Can you say that one more time?
No.
Okay, again, it gets back to that basic biology. I just more about because we watch these shows on TV, or what? I mean, what are we going to call it? Is it TV? Do we call it? I'm watching these shows on YouTube or these devices, and our brain doesn't know the difference between someone standing in front of me and talking and this, and we become in need of these things. Our comfort is in what's the right word here, in the fact that we see and feel these things as part of our community.
Well, there's no doubt that we very easily get drawn into and immersed in all of these different worlds that are not real, presented to us on a screen of some sort in a movie theater. And our emotions are just as real. We react to them just as though it was absolutely real. We cry at movies, we laugh, we get afraid. So yeah, it's very easily for a human being to confuse reality with fantasy, because maybe we seek out the fantasy. That's why movies that I'm gonna have to mute this cat.
Put a gas on the cat.
I have an on-off switch, and I have a mute. I mean, you can shut it up and it'll just move.
Think of all of the paparazzi and all the the stars, right?
Yeah.
And ultimately, we seek them out because our biology, and I guess the problem with why we use these devices and always on them, and no matter where you go, you just look around at a restaurant, that everyone's on the device. Nobody can share and communicate and connect like we used to. There's this battle that doesn't allow us to do that.
Well, there must be something that satisfies a particular human need, or people wouldn't do it. So we're connecting now. You and I, we never would have met. We never would become friends. We wouldn't have conversations if not for. But you're sitting alone in your house in Sarasota. I'm sitting alone in my office in Melbourne. But to our minds, we are together in the same place. And I think that's great. And so there are advantages to this technology. But the downside, I think, is that we're allowing it to replace actually living, actually getting out and experiencing and doing things.
Because there's so much pathology in our mind and body secondary to the life we've been living, which that's why schizophrenia, depression, psychosis, ADHD, OCD, all these disorders, which don't allow us to naturally and normally just communicate and connect with people in a loving, kind way.
Well,
everyone's
true.
Thinking, it's like, you're out to get me. And that's the damage I think we get secondary to a plant protein, low animal fat centric diet as our biggest problem, which damages the neurotransmitters, and it damages the
let me think. Does it begin with G? Somebody wanted me to name the cat Glyco. I said, no.
PTSD, post-translational.
No, that's not what that
means. Sickness disorders.
There you go.
I mean, if you think about it, it's all related to post-translational modification defects. That's it. That's it.
Well, the biology is complicated, and you and I are a lot alike. We're the guys that have to take it apart. I've been like that since I was a kid. I wasn't even concerned whether I could put it back together again, but I had to find out how it worked. I had to take it. I took apart clocks. I took apart everything that had a screw in it. And my mother used to drive my mother nuts because I would never get it back together, probably, never get it working right. But I needed to know, how could this work? And it's a curiosity, and you have it in spades, my friend, it's without a doubt.
Well, it's in the curiosity. What does the curiosity kill the cat? That
shut your ears. Don't listen to that. Nobody's killing any cats around here. Okay.
Don't ever say that again.
Don't say
it. You're hurting. And
the cat went like this.
So the question is, does it have a microphone where it can learn and react to the environment.
Well, I don't know if this has a microphone. I'm going to see how long it'll actually sit there asleep and see if I can wake it up with my voice. I don't think it's that sophisticated but it could, you could we can certainly have voice recognition and we understand and you talk to your computer as well. The cat just agreed with me and shook her head. I think it's very possible that the future robotic pets will interact, and so will the robots that you have designed to clean your house and cook your food for you.
I'm just curious what's going to happen to the as people move towards robotic pets. What are they going to use the places at the airports which allow your pets to do their duty?
They'll become charging stations,
That's it. That's it. You have to go. You'll have to go. You'll have to take your pet, and then other pet owners are going to be. Everyone's rallying together and talking about their particular robotic pet and what it likes to eat and what its favorite activities are, and so you're going to get to that even the pet parks are going to be. Everyone shows up in their electric scooters with their.
Are we creating what they call a dystopia? Because I don't know. We're enjoying we're enjoying it along the way, so we can't really feel that bad. We're using all this technology. We're having fun with it. We're benefiting from it. We're getting laughs from it. We're using AI. You're using the hell out of AI for a useful purpose. So are we contributing to the downfall by doing that? Or are we benefiting with the memes and Barry doing the work that he's doing and things like that? It's a double-edged sword. This is a absolute definition of what the expression double-edged sword really means. And a lot of people don't understand what that means.
Dystopia, Disneyland, if you go back and realize that, the utopian world, Monsanto was I don't know if you ever went to the Monsanto.
Oh yeah.
It's the future in chemicals essentially.
Yeah.
And the devices that move us, it's putting us, and ultimately, if you think about it, the world we live in is Disneyland. It's all dystopia.
Yeah, and Disney was the one that created the movie, if you remember, Wall-E. Do you ever see Wall-E about the little robot from the future?
I've seen like little blitz of it, but but all of it is. I mean, the guy had a lot of challenges and struggles when he first created his company, and I guess I could question, where did all the money come from?
I have no idea. All I know about Walt Disney is he was an anti-Semite, and I always despised the guy for that.
Well, again, it's that control of the dystopia. Disneyland.
Yeah.
And it still functions that way, which basically addicts us to the dystopian way. And I think what we're working to do in the carnivore ideas is leave that all behind and break the sugar layer. Because if you think about it, Disneyland is all a glycocalyx. It's all sugar.
Yeah, that's all they sell there too. Here's a funny comment. Lori Weitzel says, now, there's a lot of innuendo in Lori's comments, and I love Lori. She's great. I'll purr louder than Pearl if Mitch ever put me in his lap.
Well,
behave, Lori.
there's only one thing that matters in life.
We know that. You and I talked about it.
It's reproduction.
Yeah,
And
it
why
all
do we
leads to
spend
that.
all this money to go to Disneyland?
Yeah, to impress a potential mate or to entertain the kids. I mean, usually,
And maybe you'll get lucky.
yeah, and maybe you get lucky, yeah, or not. And then
Dystopia.
Terry,
I've got to work on that one in my new talk. The
yeah, dystopia.
dystopian lifestyle.
Terry says, picturing Mitch doing an autopsy on the cat looking for a microphone. We got a small but very, very, very brilliant community of people. There aren't many of them, but these guys have great senses of humor, and they're I guess they got to be really smart. And maybe it's a sad statement that because our communities in the morning aren't thousands of people, that people aren't as smart as we like to think they are, or else they maybe would be here with you and me.
We're mightily trained, and controlled and domesticated. Dystopian life is really a domesticated life. Oppression, surveillance, loss of freedom, inequality,
Yeah.
environmental collapse, excessive control by governments or corporations. Disneyland is all part of that dystopian domestication. I mean, look at, let's see, Meta or Facebook got fined $17 billion. If you're fined $17 billion, what is the net worth of these companies?
Well, $17 billion to Meta is pocket change. It's like it's like a parking ticket to you and me.
Right.
$20. Okay, here, let me just give you the $20. Nice doing business with you. Who gets the 17 billion? Did anybody? They bring these. That's the thing that drives me nuts. They bring these fines on behalf of people that have been injured or cheated. But where does the money go? It goes into the pockets of the politicians, usually, not to the victims. So who's the bigger criminals? The politicians or the people that they're fining? We lived in a backwards world in so many respects, but we can't change it. And we can spend all day complaining about it, or we can try to find some joy in this existence of ours and try to have some fun. And
there's only one
lighten up.
joyful thing to do every day. Join us.
There you go. There
Mitch
you go.
and Pearl.
And Kiltsy in the morning.
And so,
Yeah.
I'm really going on this one now. So the dystopian idea that Disneyland is a controlled environment with ideas about behavior, consumption, happiness, social order. And you mentioned his political beliefs, right? And ultimately, he knew, or they, through the message of the media, and the control of the messages. And it's all, it's like, what's the value of all these companies that teach us in Neverland?
Well, they're not doing so good lately because Disney a few years ago decided that woke was the wave of the future. And they damn near went out of business going woke. And I hope they're coming back from that. Hollywood did that. I don't put much faith in the social aspect of that culture. They're talented entertainers. They're creators of fantasy. But as far as realistic human beings, I don't think they grasp realism in any way, shape, or form, especially like we do. I mean, that's the brunt of our whole thing is biology, physiology, evolution. You want to be healthy and have a great life, take care of the temple, take care of the machine, and this is how you do it. You don't ever hear that from Hollywood. Hollywood is the opposite. They're the vegans, they're the liberals, they're the vegetarians, they're the ones that buy into every harebrained idea to help make somebody else money. So we got to be aware of that, but we don't seem to be as a culture. We seem to all fall for that crap.
But that's the nature of humanity, of all organisms, right? Because that's why we're all at risk of the basics of the biological drives. And, wherever we're at, even hanging out with Mitch on a live, there's interactions and there's domestication. And I'm just wondering if your cat is actually in control.
I don't know. Ask her. Here.
Pearl, can you tell me whether or not you smoke cigars?
Oh, I'm going to figure out some way.
Well, who's going to handle that one? Barry Simon.
Yeah,
but it sounds like Barry's got to handle that one. Right?
To show you how cool the programming is on this thing. When I put this cat on my shoulder, the cat's been sitting there fairly quietly. It came to life. It started purring. It started moving. Just a little touch, and I can really understand how people could gain comfort and start to feel companionship. Just like a kid has a baby doll or a stuffed teddy bear or something like that and cuddles with it and feels comfort from it. And it becomes a substitute for human interaction that may not be there or be possible anymore. So go out and buy one of these cats. You can get yours on Amazon for $149.95. You tell them, Pearl. Yes, sir.
But ultimately, our drive is for connection, and that connection is created through fantasy and the dystopian world of Disneyland, essentially, right? And all the illusions through the dystopian lens of domestication. And control is disguised as entertainment, but it's not disguised. It is entertainment. We want to be entertained.
Oh, more than anything, we value it. If value is how much money you're willing to put on it, like salaries, who do we value more? Our football players or our teachers? It's 1,000 to 1.
Right. And your value is in your fame and money.
Exactly.
Not in your function and mission.
I always marvel at that. We put more value on an NBA basketball player than we do on a college professor that molds and shapes the minds of his students. If he's not named Walter Willett, for example, spewing propaganda. We could go on like this for days, Kelsey, but we're not helping anybody.
Chewing the cud.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing here. But you're right. The idea of famous people, right? Infamous people.
Yeah.
And distorted people.
I agree with you, and I don't have any. People say, "Well, who are your idols, Mitch?" I don't have any. I don't worship people. I don't look up to people. I don't get awestruck by people anymore, and don't expect them to get awestruck by me, because who the hell am I? But I just can't think of anybody. I mean, there are people out there doing a lot of great things, but I don't idolize them for some reason.
I idol Jesus Christ. And now the interesting part of that is it's a story that of a rabbi that is probably the most famous person that may or may not have ever existed anyway.
That's the key. That's the key right there that people don't understand. It's a philosophy and a concept, but people they define it in so many different ways. I think it's very confusing. So that's why I stay out of that. I try to stay out of that conversation, but allow people to have it if they want to. Why? It's not my business.
Well, let's get the Mitch Weiss OldGuyCarnivore story, and ultimately let's get you on with one of the other infamous podcasters of the world, right? The Joe Rogan show. And ultimately, millions of dollars begin to flow in and fame, XYZ happens. And now what? right? We're
Yeah.
still just another human being on this journey of
true.
sharing ideas.
But we get carried away with ourself is the problem. Ego sets in. We get crazy. We get corrupted. The worst thing that a human being can do is to get so arrogant as to think he's any better than anybody else. That's when the trouble starts. That's where the quest for power, the rulers, you have to bow down to me, I'm the king, all that stuff. You're just a bunch of meat like the rest of us. Your cells look like my cells. Some people say you go to the bathroom the same way that I do. What makes you that much better?
Well,
And ego is a problem, I think.
I put together these slides that sort of take us from this sunlight molecule photon that then creates life, but ultimately all of it eventually just breaks right down into the same stuff. So ultimately, we're molecular compounds that through some energy like sunlight creates a life form, but it's all temporary. As we see Dolly and all of us, the list of those who pass.
Yeah.
We're all part of that, right? It's the energy and the journey of life, and I think it's just to show up and connect. I mean, I can tell you the amount of people that have become my friends on, these podcasts with you and myself and others at the meetups or not the meetups. These are pretty amazing people that I would say have more importance to me than anything I've ever known.
That's why you and I both keep doing this. We ask ourselves, I mean, I do it almost daily. I'm sure you do the same thing. When you get a little harried and people are pulling on you from every direction, you say, why am I doing this? And if you can't find an answer to that, you won't be here anymore. Neither would I. But somehow, I'm still here and you're still here. There is a great, and I know you and I get the same thing out of it. It's not money, that's for sure. Because we spend more than we make. It is the connection and the community, and it's something that we humans, I believe, need to survive.
Well, yes, it's kind of interesting. We're here because there is still that same biologic need to connect and be part of something. And this community where we're talking around the world with equally amazing people is just to share, because we will be fertilizer, and before we get there, let's make a mess of life.
Oh, wow. Boy, I've really ignored the viewers today, but that's okay. We got Rick in the chat. Rick says, if everyone had a robot pet, I would no longer be able to cook. Rick has got a certain wisdom about what he says, and there's a great deal of honesty there, which I admire about. There's a lot of things that I laugh about with Rick, and Rick is the gift that keeps on giving, but there's a lot of honesty in what Rick says, even if it may be socially unacceptable to say, but it's true, and I'd rather hear the truth than somebody blowing air up my skirt, as the expression goes. Wouldn't you?
I think it is. You're right. So Rick is one of the most honest, genuine human beings I think God has ever created, and he's very humble in his simplicity. And if we could all be like Rick, I think we'd live in a much better world.
Well, I don't think there's enough dumpsters out there to keep us all occupied. But
Go ahead.
You know, I'm not a religious guy. You know that. You know, you and I believe that in the Force, and I never use the G word because nobody knows what that means. Everybody defines it differently, and so I'm perfectly clear. I don't use that. That's just me. That's just me. My ancestry, and of course, is Jewish, but I don't recruit and I don't practice the religious part of the Jewish faith. To me, I look at it as the country I come from. Like if somebody else says I'm Irish, I say, well, I'm Jewish. But Rick, we were talking about Rick. Rick, we can't all be like the world today could not support 8 billion people like Rick, and I kind of smiled and laughed when the concept came up, and you kind of talked about God, and I thought back to the old biblical expression, God created man in His image, and right away I had a picture of a world with 8 billion Ricks walking around, and I said, "Oh my God, that's scary." Do you think that's funny, or am I being completely politically incorrect here?
Completely politically incorrect, but that's what life is about, because we're not here to be correct. We're here to bring a conversation which is a little bit of a conflict, because that's where the real entertainment comes in.
Well, there's always going to be debate. I usually try to avoid debate because you can't win. Why play? You know, in most cases. But that's the thing. There's a certain irony about you and me. About you and me, in when it comes to religion, when it comes to talking about God or Jesus or things like that. And the irony of it, Kelsey, is that we actually believe exactly the same thing, only express it in different terms. Really?
I guess at the end of the day, really it comes down to that same foundation for all of us. We just have all these different conversations, different ways of explaining the basic biology of all life forms, which is reproduction.
I agree. My philosopher, that if I had to write a book, like you write many books, I wrote one book, but my philosopher, I'd probably have to call, in defining the mysterious and the religious aspect of it, I'd call on Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks. And my salutation when I met somebody, I would say, "May the Schwartz be with you," which is what Mel Brooks said. "May the Schwartz be with you."
Nano, right?
Yeah. In Star Wars, it was "May the Force be with you." It's all the same thing that we're all talking about.
May God bless you.
Yeah, God bless you. I say that every day, and it's a colloquialism. It's not literally, I'm not expecting the heavens to open and the thunder and lightning, and then God comes down and says, "Bless you, son." That's not going to happen. There are some people who think that is what happens, but that's their opinion. And all of our conflicts in this world come from differing opinions when people try to force their opinions on everybody else.
Entropy.
And entropy is the concept dictated by the different laws of thermodynamics, as misunderstood a concept in most cases and misused example. But nonetheless, we attach the word law to it, which means it can't be any other way. That has to be that way. And
although those are human opinions, or
exactly.
human perceptions. I mean, a law is kind of back to, we create these scientific laws which are purely truth based on the system we've created, so you can get a college degree.
Yeah. True, true. But entropy says that nothing can do anything but revert back to its original form. So, in other words, nothing can exist because the forces are trying to tear it apart. That's what most people think when they say the word entropy. If that was true, the universe would have nothing in it except hydrogen atoms. Because anytime a hydrogen atom actually was drawn by some force to some other atom and created a new compound, the way most people think about entropy is that, well, that may be true, but entropy says it's going to revert back to hydrogen and whatever. And if that was true, there'd be nothing in the universe. So logic says there must be more to the definition of entropy than just the simplicity of saying that things tend to degrade. And we notice that in our world because we see things fall apart, we see things rust. But we also see things grow. And growth itself of anything, especially growth of living things, is contrary to what most people use the term entropy. So I don't talk about entropy. I think it's, why bother? It means different things to so many different people that you can't use the word because nobody will know what thing you actually mean. You got to be careful, I guess, with the words you use.
This is a
days.
Purely dystopian channel, I've decided. It's trying to control us, and soon we'll all have a robotic cat on our couch, and that's the meow. It's kind of like, oh, I'd really love a puppy. I'd really love a puppy.
Keep your eyes on the cat. Keep your eyes on the cat. Listen very carefully what I'm that's what they do, is they hypnotize us. Oh wow. Excuse me. Well, this thing's still going strong. I didn't charge her up last night.
What's the charging length that the battery is able to
I don't know yet. That's why I'm going to keep using it until she gets tired. And so far it's been on for about 2.5 hours since the charge. So I'm keeping track of it. But there's the concept, plug in your pet. Excuse me, I have to recharge my cat. There are words that I thought I'd never ever say. One sentence that I thought I'd never ever say was, "Excuse me while I turn my cat on." I never thought I'd say that, but now I'm saying it. So.
Well, I've been working on my AI generated slides to kind of.
I see that. They're great. They're very, very professional.
I don't know if I could show you this one. I don't know if this will.
Well, let me I can do that. I can make you big so you got the whole screen. Fill it up with whatever you'd like. Or you can share something with me and I can put it up there.
Let's see. Can you share my?
Yeah, I can. What does it say here? It says, before presenting a screen, what was that? Why is it? Remove other media streams. Oh, that's because I got that window open to show the video. There it goes. Okay.
The utopian, this utopian perfection. And basically, sunlight bathes the world we live in, and it brings all these molecular structures together, and it builds this glycocalyx, the plant world, right? But all these molecules that you and I have explained as carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, all those other things, basically brings us and creates all life forms. But eventually, we all grow old and we degrade and we go right back into this world of microbes, fungi, all the insects, right, that consume the macro world and bring it right back into this microscopic world. And then these reactions happen and kind of bring us all right back to the spiral and the creativity of life. And so it's kind of having fun with these ideas and having fun with the idea. And this one here, I think, let me see if it smells it out. But I've got this idea of this wonderful pastoral world where we all get along to this world of war and famine and disease and how this conflict between the two, which one wins out in the moment, which eventually the famine, disease, and getting back into the proverbial soup of all life forms, right? What do we call the soup? Come to me, where we all evolved out of this big soup of molecular.
Oh, the primordial soup. Yeah.
Thank you. And it's
my grandmother used to make great primordial soup, by the way.
And usually had a lot of chicken fat, right? But there were always vegetables.
Oh yeah, and I don't think that was, as long as there was more than adequate meat and fat. I don't think the vegetables were really the root of the problem. They maybe there was some benefit, because after all, there are beneficial medications that come from plants. I mean, that's been where all
heroin,
the plants,
cocaine, marijuana, nicotine.
Yeah, but so many things in the proper dose can help people heal. Medicine men have been using plant-derived compounds since the beginning of time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. The cat is getting very vocal over here. Well, I got to be careful where this cat's going to be the star of the show. I'm going to show up on the microphone and people say, "Where's the cat? Where's the cat, Mitch? Where's the cat? We came here to see the cat." I hope it doesn't. Well, I got to be careful. I got to be careful.
You could probably send one back, get a different one, get a different animal. I mean, maybe it's going to be a squirrel next, and it's.
No, I think this is it for the stuffed animals. I got your namesake, Roberto.
Yes.
and I got Walter, which I've had since the beginning because Walter's my hero. I try to mold my attitude as a grumpy old man and use Walter as an example. And you notice the hairline. Walter's got exactly the same hairline I do. So I can really, really identify with this guy.
Well, I've got to get to the office where I'm gonna go do some calls, work with the team and patients, and help build babies.
Well, that's great, because we've about burned up the whole hour. So everybody wondered what I'm going to do today. This is it. And I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I'll probably stop by and say hi to Rick. But if you're still going to be on Sunday, are you planning Sunday?
I'm planning Sunday. I'll let you know.
Okay,
I'm not sure where I'm going to be yet. I got to figure that out.
All right, just let me know if you want me to host the thing, and I'll do it. If not, I'd rather you host it. I enjoy not having to let you push the button.
I'm going to plan on it, and I'll make sure you got the link.
Okay.
All right.
Super.
Right.
Well, the link you put for Sunday's public, so the link will be in the chat. You don't need to send it to me. And you have a great day, my friend.
And everyone else have an awesome day. I'll see you guys this weekend. Take care. God bless.
Always good to see you. Take care. Bye-bye. And that leaves me alone for the last 5 minutes. Wow. That's nice to have Kiltsy on. We get into these conversations. I hope you didn't get bored by it, but we go exploring. We just, what if? And to me, it's very interesting. And I love it. Very few people in my life have I ever been able to go deep like that. And I think it's great. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Laurie says, "Yay, Mitch." What's that last word? ALINE. I don't know what that means. Or was it supposed to be alone? Bye, Dr. Kill, says Robbie Audrey. Alone. Yes, Lori says alone. Well, I'm glad you like me alone. I'm not alone. I got Pearl here. I got Pearl. Oh, wow. This isn't, it really is funny. Probably the novelty of this cat will certainly diminish, and she'll be taking, like Rick and Milton, but it's still, I marvel at the programming of this thing, because I understand what it's like to program a robot, and all these little movements didn't just happen by accident. They were predefined and programmed for it to react at certain times and it's running probably a more complex piece of software than they had in the moon lander. Really, seriously. And I've always marveled at the technology that's behind what is presented to us as reality. So, plus, she's becoming my buddy. She's becoming my buddy. She's starting to gain a personality. And these types of things that's how we humans perceive them. So, and some people would say, well, that's silly, but this cat, I'm petting this cat right now. I'm petting this cat, and this cat is sitting there meowing, and she was purring, and she was moving her head back and forth, and look at that. Look at that. And she actually reacts like a real cat would react to the same touches when you scratch a certain area. She got sensors evidently all over. So pretty cool. When you rub under here, she'll start to purr. Wow. Mitch, you're a grown man, for God's sake. Quit playing with dolls. It's wild. It's wild. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen it. I've seen some pretty sophisticated machines in programming. At any rate, my friends, I didn't say hi to anybody. I saw, most of the usual people were here. Everybody's starting to say goodbye. Oh, wow. A lot of reactions to the cat. Rough Carnivore. Peanut is my favorite Jeff Dunham character. I like Jeff Dunham. I like all of his characters. What's his name? Ahmed, the terrorist. I like him. I like Peanut. I like the what's the name of it? The Stick. I'm having a senior moment here, but he's a very talented guy. Very talented guy. And of course, my all-time favorite Jeff Dunham character is Walter. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. I will read the comments as I watch the replay of this, as I do. So, thank you everybody for watching. A little happy music. I'm gonna call it a day here. How come I don't hear my music? I'm not hearing my happy music. I see it in the mixer, but I don't hear it. Sorry guys, why can't I hear the music? I don't know, my mixer has decided. So we're gonna have to do this without music. Maybe you heard the music, but I didn't hear the music in my headphones. So something screwed up. That's the problem with computers. So I'll play a little music in case you might hear it. If you hear it, I'm happy, but I don't hear it. Happy music. It says it's playing, but it's not coming out of my headphones. And that's all I got to go with. Thanks so much for coming today. Thank you. Thanks, Kelsey, for joining me this morning. Have a great, oh, Rick said music is here. Okay, I'm just not hearing it in my headphones. That happens sometimes. That happens sometimes. These mixers are very, very complex. I'm sure if I rebooted it, it would work fine, but I'm just not don't have to spend the time because the show is over. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having the cat. It's time to put the cat down for a nap and let her have the day off. Let her have the day off. And thanks for being here and keeping me company and showing that you appreciate my attention by doing your thing. If life was only that easy, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great? Go smoke that cigar, Mitch, says Robbie. Have a great Friday and weekend, everyone, says Lori. You too, sweetheart. Super Tune Chuck says Rick at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah, Rick at 8 a.m. Danny in Boston. Take it easy, Danny. Have a great day. Lamb said have a great weekend. All done. Shanger. Everybody's wishing everybody goodbye. I don't know if the music, it looks like the music has ended according to my VU meter. So with that, I will say to everybody, have a great weekend. Take the rest of the day off. And of course, eat a lot of meat.